Hey guys, it's Miss Robertson. Here's a quick video on the basics of solving a trig equation. So I'm going to start off with a simple trig equation. So let's do sine of theta equals negative square root of 3 over 2. And the goal is you are looking for what angle can we plug in here that will give us a sine value of negative square root of 3 over 2. So you kind of need a unit circle for this, unless you have it memorized well. So remember, we're looking for sine, and sine is your y coordinates. So we're going to start looking at y coordinates until we find one that is square root of 3 over 2. Well, here's one, but our problem is negative. So this is your sine. So that one's positive, and if we come down here, we get negative. And here is another negative. So what angle gives us that sine value? 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. So we'll say that theta equals 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. So what angle gives you a sine value of negative square root of 3 over 2? The angle 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. So let's do one that's a little bit more challenging. And let's do one that you have to get the trig function by itself. So notice here my trig function is all by itself and it equals a value. That's the goal every time, but it doesn't always start off that way. So on this problem, let's do 2 secant of theta plus 6 equals 10. So step 1, you want to isolate your trig function. Okay, so where is your trig function? It's right here. So I want to get that by itself. Step 1, I'm going to move this plus 6. I want to undo that. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. And so we have 2 secant of theta equals 4. We're going to get rid of the 2, so we're going to divide both sides by 2. And so we end up with secant of theta equals 2. Okay, secant is not as friendly to find as cosine, so I'm going to go ahead and change this into cosine of theta equals, well, how are these guys related? Cosine and secant are reciprocals of each other. So if secant is 2, we know cosine is 1/2. All right, at this point, we're going to do it the same way we did the original problem. We're going to go to our unit circle and find where is cosine equal to 1/2. Remember, cosine is your x coordinate. So we're going to look at our x coordinates as we go around, and we're going to find them that equal 1/2. Well, here's a 1/2, and that's pi over 3. And these are negative, so we don't like those. Here's a positive 1/2, so that's 5 pi over 3. So where's cosine 1/2? Here at 5 pi over 3 and here at pi over 3. So those are our answers. So we can say that theta equals pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. So remember, step 1, isolate your trig function. Then you're ready to go to the unit circle to find your solutions.